back here on a Wicker Wednesday. Lost on Baylor. Be Wicker joining us from Frisco at Big 12 Media Days. And as you know, I mean, these all start out with the commissioner going up there talking about how damn good our conference is all the time and everything. But I don't know about you. I love hearing Brett Yormark. It's someone who I like. I wish Brett Yormark was a politician because I actually don't think he BS's people. Like he does shoot straight. He just has a lot of confidence in what this conference can be. So, Sydney, just before we get into the exact quote, how are you feeling about Brett Yormark's little spiel today and the kind of rah-rah rally cry for the Big 12?
Well, this was my first true interaction with Brett and just seeing him in a setting like this. So let's just say it was eventful to start off with, but he has a lot of energy, which I think is fun and necessary. And he's definitely bold in what he says and he sticks to it. So I feel like you have to appreciate that in a commissioner. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people feel about all of his takes from today specifically.
Yeah, that is a good point. Like, we're going to talk about the college football playoff here in a second, and this is divisive, even amongst Big 12 fans. You know, there was the rumors of the new format, which would give 2 AQs to the Big 12 every year, and Brett Yormark didn't want that. He said, I'm willing to let the meter run. I'm willing to take my bet here, and he hasn't just said that once. He is now doubling down on that. Brett Yormark talking about Baylor athletic director Mack Rhodes and the new college football playoff and what it will look like for the Big 12.
I have a lot of faith in the selection process. I was recently in North Carolina. We had a CFP meeting that was hosted by the executive director, Richard Clark, who is here today. Welcome, Richard. They are doing a full audit of the selection process to figure out how they can modernize and contemporize and how they use data and how certain metrics can be more heavily weighted. Most importantly, they have a great leader, Mack Rhodes of Baylor. And I have a lot of faith in Mack Rhodes and the work he's doing with the selection committee. So I have a lot of faith in what they're doing. And 511 is fair. We want to earn it on the field. It might not be the best solution today for the Big 12, given your comments about AQs. But long term, knowing the progress we're making, the investments we're making, it's the right format for us. And I'm doubling down today on 511. And I know Jim Phillips will, and I'm sure some of the other conference commissioners will as well.
Doubling down. Brett Yormark doubling down. And a great day for my best friend from home's dad, who is a vice president at 511 Activewear. Huge day for him because everyone's just talking about 511, which is awesome. I do want to get to the Mack Rhodes shout out in a second, but this is what I'm talking about, Sydney. This is why I want him to be a politician. He's not BSing you. Like he says, I understand why people don't think that's a good avenue for the Big 12 right now. And there are some rumors that some of the ADs in the Big 12 don't think they want the 2 automatic qualifiers. And he says, you're not going to be able to see it right now. But the vision that we have for this conference, and saying it without saying it, but the future of the ACC, we like our chances at getting more than 2 bids in the future. So I just want your reaction to that. I know, you're someone who's been around other conferences quite a bit, specifically the SEC. You've been boots on the ground in the SEC, and it doesn't look great right now for Big 12 to just have 3 college football playoff teams every year. But that view to the future that Brett Yormark has, do you think that is a huge gamble?
I don't feel like it's a huge gamble. I think it's he has a vision for it, and a lot of people agree with this. I mean, when I covered Mike Leach at Mississippi State, he had talked about how there's a way you can fit 64 teams in a college football playoff run, and you can make it look like March Madness and do it at that stage. So I've heard the most outrageous things when it comes to that. But I think people want more. And something he alluded to is just college football has never been better than where it's at now. Why don't we build on that and expand it more? And that was a comment he said a lot today. He thinks the Big 12 is at one of the best spots that it's been at. So if this conference is growing and at a really good spot, then why don't we give more opportunities? He said that this is what makes it fair. If you want to make it fair,
Yeah.
give more opportunity for competition. I mean, look at what the Big 12 has done recently. We've seen so many overtime thrillers. Like the Big 12 is what you turn on at midnight and you're sitting on the edge of your seat, can't go to sleep because you're watching BYU and Colorado go head to head, or two teams that just like fight it out in a midnight thriller, and it's always something. And I think he brought that up a lot today too. When the competition level has never been better and we're seeing some of the best, why not give more opportunities to that?
Yeah, he also called it the deepest college football conference in America on day one of Big 12 Media Days, which is it the best? No, but it's tough to argue with him. It's pretty deep. It's going to be very competitive. And it is, again, that look towards the future. You know, we kind of talked about it on our Big 12 Baylor crossover on Monday's show, which was, you know, the money might be drying up at some point here, just with the mega deals that are being thrown out, specifically at the Big Ten and the SEC. Yeah, obviously, those conferences are always going to make a ton of money, but the TV media rights deals, it's just not going to be like what it was 7 or 8 years ago. And maybe that does even out the playing field over time to a place where the Big 12 can put 3 or 4 teams in a 16-team college football playoff. So I love that kind of conviction that Brett Yormark comes at it with, and I believe him. I actually do, which is not what I could say about most of commissioners or ADs. But speaking of that, he shouts out Mack Rhodes right away, you know, a big part of the college football playoff committee. You know, I know you've had some interactions with Mack, you know, through some of these media availability, Sydney and Baylor fans. We've known him for a long time at this point. It seems like he is one of the guys that you want leading the way in the Big 12. You know, like Kirby Hocutt, Jamie Pollard, not Mark Harlan, some pretty good, strong ADs. But Mack Rhodes has done it at a couple of different places in a couple of different conferences. He really does seem like one of the figureheads of this conference. Is that what you're getting based off that shout out and kind of what we hear around today?
Sorry, I have to unmute myself. Yeah, it's so loud in here. I'm trying to mute myself just for those watching, because then I just feel like it messes with the audio. So from your standpoint as a viewer at home, I'm trying to look out for you. Going back to your question, Cam, I will answer the question. I think he's like such a level-headed guy. Like he represents not only Baylor, but just so much in the conference and college football and college sports really as a whole, that having a guy like that is just, it's really important. And for him to represent Baylor and to get that shout out from the commissioner, I mean, that's huge. That shows the work that he's doing and that he's putting in to put whatever kind of best efforts they can in moving things forward, and the growth of the sport, the conference, whatever. It shows that there's effort and initiative there.
And I love the way the Big 12's going. I know I'm biased. I cover this every day, but love the way that Brett Yormark's attacking this. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Should the Big 12 want the 5-11 format? Should they just take the automatic qualifiers and be happy with it? Let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube with us. You can also, of course, find us wherever you find your podcasts as well.